Hey, everybody, welcome to Near Disney, where us Dream Team members of Florida in Motion Realty are going to share with you all of our best findings of what's going on with Disney, what's going on with local real estate, and not just selling you the houses, but selling you the community. So stay tuned. And that's what it feels like to live in Central Florida every
Yeah.
day. Music and
Fireworks.
fireworks and pixie dust all the time.
Mhm.
For anyone who's not from around here, you get used to it fast. So I am Elijah with Florida in Motion Realty, sitting in the host chair. We've all got fun Disney monikers on the Dream Team, and I am officially called the Prince of Real Estate.
Hey everyone, happy that everyone is joining us tonight for our Wednesday show. I'm Virginia Carlson, also known as Cinderella here at Near Disney.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. I am Tanya, also with Florida in Motion Realty, and I'm also known as Helena, the Latin princess. Yo hablo español, and I can assist you guys with any questions you may have.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we call this Wind Down Wednesday. It's just all supposed to be a relaxed meeting of the minds where we come together as local real estate experts, just find any cool articles that we have to share or promote any cool homes, let you know any interest stories about updates with the Central Florida real estate market. We call it a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. And we do have one exciting update that I'm happy to share. Actually, we've got hold on a second. It's not hold on. There we go. Wasn't sharing my stream. We had a closing today, and we are just so happy to talk about these kinds of victories. Like, it's a big deal for any of us when we cross the finish line with a client after working hard to represent them, working hard to bring buyer and seller together. This is a beautiful estate home in Celebration, Florida, that we had the privilege of bringing to the finish line. And if you are interested in this lifestyle, we've got people from all kinds of buying categories who tune in to watch the show. Don't worry, this is a awesome estate home celebration, but just know that we actually have some other very prestigious estate homes actually that are in our listing inventory right now. And we even have things from just regular uh, mid-sized single-family homes. I've even got a really cool 4-bedroom rental for you in Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built. So if you're interested in any of that, just please, our phone numbers are really here for you, and they really ring us. So
Yes, excellent.
I would like to just one more thing to tell you about is, oh gosh, if I could just find this. Here we go. Share with you something super cool that's coming to the Orlando area, because we like to sell the lifestyle and what's going on in the area as well. Once you
Mhm.
get a house, I'm from Nebraska personally, so I'm not used to super cool things like this just coming to town for activities to do. So nevermore, we are excited to say that an Edgar Allan Poe themed speakeasy is set to tour through Orlando in September, bringing performances, themed drinks that promise to evoke the tortured bard. September 7th to 10, and the Mez in Thornton Park. That's kind of the South Eola area. This touring cocktail pop up will set up shop for a few days. So if you are interested in like Edgar Allan Poe as this kind of like a prelude to the Halloween spooky
Mhm.
season, it would be a cool way to just have something to do. Some old Gothic Americana themes. They've got the Telltale Heart, the Raven, Mosque of the Red Death, and the Black Cat to be featured in performances and readings, courtesy of Poe Files, as they're called, themed cocktails during the course of the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy event. So I've just kind of
Very
pulled
cool.
up that address here. You can take a screenshot or you can pause it and take this down. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like this. There are a lot of pop-ups that happen throughout the year, but especially coming into the holidays, you'll see more and more of these type of events. Definitely worth checking out. Really fun.
Yeah, I mean, we just did that sort of a escape tour event that was Alice in Wonderland themed that was happening
Oh,
through
right,
downtown Orlando as well, where people had got their phones and there was like sort of a mystery escape room puzzle that you
right.
would get into teams. A lot of people showed up in costumes. That's just so cool. You get hundreds of people gathered together, dressed up like Alice in Wonderland, and it's not even on Disney property. That is
Hmm.
how attuned into the whimsy and the magic that just this whole Central Florida area is. It's just such a
Yeah.
that's a laid back, fun lifestyle of people. And as far as the speakeasy go, you normally need like a password to get into that part.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a speakeasy kind of fun out beyond just mid September here, I think a cool place to check out is the Hanson as like a bar in downtown Orlando where they're
Hmm.
to like have an upstairs secret area where you can go online to their website and get the password, and you go in, you knock on the door, and somebody lets you into the upstairs part where there's this whole second bar and
Yeah.
rooftop bar where they do stuff like have a projector that's playing like old French new wave movies in black and white, and you can feel like a hipster.
Cool.
So it's very cool. Um,
Yeah, let us go.
so on to the next. I think you had some Disney themed news to share. If I could just get control of my mouse, yourself, Virginia.
Yeah. So we were looking at just ways to keep people informed on how to utilize their park experience at Walt Disney World and any of the four major parks. And we came across a pretty comprehensive list of the best restaurants at Disney World. And this is a great thing to kind of just familiarize yourself with, because I definitely think if you want to maximize your day, it's better to go in with a little bit of knowledge of where you want to go rather than wasting time when you're there. Like, oh, what do I do? Where do I eat? And just so people know, maybe if they're coming in for the first time or just really experiencing Walt Disney for, just trying to get the lay of the land at the parks. There are three main types of dining at Disney. There's table service, which is, a traditional sit down. There's quick service, which is more of like, you go to a counter, you order, and then take a tray. And then there's the snack kiosks, which are all around the park. So if you want to maximize rides or eat on the go, I would definitely do the quick service or the kiosks. And if you want to just chill and kind of take it easy, then the table service is for you. But this is a pretty great list of all the different places at the Magic Kingdom. Please, be advised that if you do want a sit down, you need to make a reservation. But some of the great places, like there's dining in Cinderella's castle, which would be pretty spectacular. Elijah's pulling it up right now. The royal table. I mean, that would be a pretty wild experience to be in the castle and eating in there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that that's not just a big, gigantic building-sized prop. That there is
Right.
ability to go
Mhm.
in there and have some magical experience in dining in there too.
Yeah, there are some cool things inside there. And then, of course, at Animal Kingdom, there's different places. I know that the Flame Tree Barbecue is a pretty popular one. So if you're wanting to go to that one, it has great reviews, but it's also very popular. So definitely make a reservation if you're interested in that one.
Gosh, it's making me
Um,
hungry
I
scrolling.
know.
know. I was gonna say
Come
the same
on.
thing.
Yeah, and you can really find anything. I mean, if you want something savory, sweets, there's drink kiosks. There's basically anything you can think of course, because it's Disney and it's a pretty extensive property. So there's a lot of choices for sure.
Yeah, and if anyone in the chat or the live stream or if any viewers, if you've got a favorite one that you want to stick your neck out for, please let us know. Even if it didn't make the top 36 on this list,
Exactly.
that's
Oh, I will say what the one you just passed, that one is pretty good. The Rose and Crown, that's over at Epcot, and that's got a real British feel. Like you really do feel like you're in like a pub in London. It's really cute inside, and it's also a really great spot if you get a good seat to watch the fireworks at night at Epcot. So
Ooh,
that's
any
just
place
they like
Disney
prime
fireworks.
location for the fireworks.
Oh, that is awesome. I
Yeah, that
th-
is.
this is going more than I can even scroll, but it's all great. So I invite anybody else's commentary. Let us know if you've got the scoop on a good one. So all right, let's look a little bit more into the housing market
Okay.
update here. I think Tanya, you prepared a kind of a cool market update for us. So let us know what you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Elijah. And I'll be diving into the latest housing market trends for this past month. We have some interesting findings from an article I found on the Realtors website, Florida Realtors. So let's jump right in. In July, the Florida housing market has shown some intriguing shifts in inventory levels on median sales prices. According to the data, the changes are consistent with values from a year ago, these changes. The buyers and sellers in Florida have been facing challenges, as we know, due to higher mortgage rates, which have been fluctuating around 7%. And there it was mentioned that while active listings are on the rise and inventory levels are improving, the market is still striving for balance. Uh, I'm looking at the numbers here. It looks like closed sales of existing single family homes statewide saw a 6.4% a year over year decrease, and existing condo and townhouses sales experienced a 9.4 drop from July of 2022 till now. So also it's worth noting that closed sales might occur from 30 to 90 plus days after sales contracts are written.
Mm-hmm.
And on the supply side, single family homes had a 2.8 month supply, while condo and townhouses had a 3.6 month supply. So with the high mortgage rates this summer, that's contributed to a slower annual rate of home prices growth for single family homes at about 415,000, making it a 0.7% increase compared to last July. And on the other hand, condos and townhouses saw 4.6 year over year gain with a median sales price of 319,000 since it's the largest since April.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? What's the bigger picture? Let's get to that. The president highlighted that the rising interest rates throughout 2022 led to a decline in housing market activity.
Mm-hmm.
However, as we progress through 2023, the numbers are looking more favorable compared to a year ago. So that's the overview of Florida's housing market for last month.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, those who are watching, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, we are always here for you. And please stay informed and make wise decisions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a funny thing to see the inventory start to improve, but people, even if it's getting a little bit more competitive, we're still seeing sellers not be quite as motivated there. It kind of seems because maybe they want to hold on to their interest rates, or they just want to squeeze out that, big equity that they built up over the last few years. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are trying, we have relationships with some good lenders as well. So if you kind of just want to see what are some of the best rates that you can get, if you're just kind of coming to the party now and your circumstances align, that like, well, this is when I was in the market for a home, not a year ago, which would have been nice. Then we can put you in touch with some great people who can like kind of offer you the best programs that are out there as available. So we got some good people. So I'm gonna pull up kind of bookending that a little bit. Something I found that says one asking, will the golden age of remodeling persist with this economy, housing market slowdown? So it's just kind of highlighting that a lot of people, the statistics are showing, were taking the time during pandemic
Mm-hmm.
home, work from home periods to beautify their homes when they're going to spend more time there. And we just saw skyrocketing home improvement projects, and we just we're just kind of checking in to see, is that continuing? Boom during the height of COVID-19. It is beginning to taper off from what experts say was possibly unsustainable growth. But current conditions in the housing market may ultimately provide medium-term tailwinds for the sector. So while existing home sales falling yet again nationally in July, down 2.2 from a month prior, it's expected the persistent slower rate of home sales will contribute to a slowdown in the remodeling market starting next year. It's not as gung ho as we've seen for the past several years in terms of homeowner activity, but we're still expanding this year. So part of that will be residual impacts of home purchases over the past several years. So maybe when it comes to the hesitation, it's not just the interest rates. People saying like, I gotta buy if I want to sell. We also may have seen people go a little too gung ho with this, potentially with over improving with remodeling projects. I think you mentioned you were reading something about that, Virginia.
Yeah, I think a year or so ago, people were very much invested in improving their homes. A lot of them doing it themselves, just because people were thinking, and I still think it's true that, we're like, well, we're spending so much more time in our own houses, so we want to make sure that they are where we want them to be if we're going to spend all this time in the homes. But some home improvement projects might not get you the return that you want. People might just do things that are a little too custom to their own tastes, and so that might make it a little bit harder to sell on the other end. Like things that we see that might not get you what you want are chef quality kitchen. We're seeing that maybe not everyone's really interested in that, and just the price alone to put something in with like top of the line, all the gadgets that go with a chef's quality kitchen. They're saying that
half of the people I've been dealing with lately, they just kind of have that demurring attitude, like, "Ha ha, I never used my kitchen the whole time I was here." Ha ha.
Right. And so you think like, oh, I'm going to put all these amazing appliances and gadgets and this and that into the
so appreciated by the next buyer.
and then somebody else walks in and they're like, I don't cook. So you just never know. It's kind of like you want to find that middle ground where it's like, it's great, but it's going to get you, your return on the other end. Other things that are listed here are DIY painting. Obviously, if it's just kind of, you did it yourself and you can see that, the colors don't quite match, it might be worth your while maybe to not do it yourself if it's not going to be perfect.
We know some good local painting companies.
Absolutely. I know a great painter who did my house and it looked like a brand new house on the inside. It's great. Things like, expanding the primary suites, you're just like they're saying here, this is a good point. You might make your primary suite enormous, but you're losing another bedroom, like a third bedroom or something. And then somebody walks in and they're like, wow, it's great, but I really wish they had 3 bedrooms instead of 2, one gigantic one. And,
please don't turn your 3-bedroom house into a 2-bedroom house, no matter.
Exactly, because that's a huge difference.
Unless you're so wealthy that money is no object and you could just have it remodeled back later for resale.
The selling point between a 2 and 3 bedroom home is just like enormous. It's like, it's a lot of people won't even bother if it only says 2 bedrooms because they have, more than one child or whatever the circumstance, they want an office or anything. Swimming pools can be seen as a drawback. A lot of times people might maybe with young children are like, I don't want to have the risk of a swimming pool or the upkeep. It is another thing to consider when you buy a home. It's definitely another extension. It's great to have that extra living space, but it is something that has to be maintained. So it's another expense. So just all things to consider. But I will say though, Elijah, if you pull up that other graphic that we were talking about, that as far as home features that do help you sell faster, some of the things that can be done, and we're seeing that 92% of people really want that laundry room in their home. They want a nice space to do the laundry. And I know it doesn't sound like exciting or,
And
you know,
that's a laundry room, not a closet. Like,
no, they want like a full on room that you can, you know, put everything in. And it's just like, it's a really nice area because it is it's a chore we all have to do. Um, some other things that, people love patios. Another one that got a high rating, which we're seeing actually a lot when we talk about new construction, are energy efficient appliances and features in a home. And that really does make a difference, especially down here in Florida. I know we were talking about this last week, just about how because it's been so hot here lately
Mm-hmm.
that, the energy prices are just like, skyrocketing, and people's bills, are more obviously in the summertime, but especially now, like,
Yeah.
so I
August.
just had a meeting with a homeowner who was like, okay, we're going to host an open house this weekend, but she personally guided me through the house for how to set the AC and where to put it back and like what
right.
temperature to set it back to after we made it nice and comfortable for people walking through, So these are things that people even in, very well-to-do households like keep very firmly in mind. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to consider that, whatever your economic, base is, you should definitely be more, aware of the energy that you're using in your home, for sure.
yeah.
Um,
That's how you get and stay rich.
yeah,
Every little bit, it all cumes up and
yeah.
compounds.
Yeah, in the long run, it can get pricey.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, a lot of these things on this graphic, these are high priority items, obviously, but just all things to think about if you are going to remodel. What is really going to give you the most return on your investment? So just if you have any questions about what you think would be the best use of your money and time, then definitely give us a call, and we can help you, walk you through some of the things that are definitely going to be worth doing.
Okay. Well, I think we had one last topic that we were going to go over here about Florida as its living conditions rank competing with other states around. If you wanted to kind of expound on what we found here, livability is where Florida ranks up.
Yeah, so Florida is ranking overall when people are deciding to move from one state to another in the US, or maybe from, out of the country moving here, but it ranks number 6 overall as far as livability. And those factors were like affordability, the economy, education, health, the quality of life, and of course, safety. And we are ranking number 6 overall, but we are number 1 in restaurants per capita, which is a great thing to think about if you're a foodie. And the unemployment rate is the best in the country, like meaning that it's low. So it's definitely a place where people are looking to move. Where the jobs are. It depends on your stage of life, obviously, where you want to move. Do you have kids? Are you interested in schools? Are you interested in doing things outdoors? So all these things to consider if you're wanting to move to a totally different state.
Yes, says we had a very uh, outstanding unemployment rate
Mm-hmm.
overall. It's yeah, and so I think that we rank very strongly, and I do, yeah, yeah. As far as livability, or how it says here, how happy the state will make residents. Eating well in restaurants is definitely a big factor. So we're happy to lead the country in that regard, definitely. Um, yeah, so this is a very cool article that just highlights the strengths of our state.
Yeah.
We encourage anyone to look more into this or ask us, if questions. If I'm talking with somebody who's thinking of moving here from Pennsylvania, and we're weighing the cons and pros of, Florida lifestyle versus up north. And
Right.
as we're going to be, that case is going to continue to be easier to make as we go into the September, October, November months.
It really is.
Pool was a big one for them, at least, when we were talking about the controversy of pool as a selling point. It's like the way I see it when we have these conversations with single family home, there's yard people and there's
And
pool
there's
people.
pool people.
I want
Mhm.
lots of fenced in grass for my dog and grilling and
Oh
having
yeah,
parties out in the
definitely.
back. And then there's the just let me laze in the pool and take it easy. So
Yeah.
tell us where you stand in the comments or in the chat for
Yeah,
sure.
well, especially people coming from up north, they when you live up in I grew up in New England, and we had a pool, and it was only open, like 2 months out of the year. And so people
Mhm.
come down here and they're like, I can use it year round. I definitely want a pool. So
Mhm.
you can see why people have definite feelings pretty strongly about that. Mhm.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate everybody who tuned in and joined us tonight. We invite you to call us if you have any questions. These numbers, they really ring us, whether the stream's live or whether it's not. We are here on Eastern Standard Time to
Yeah.
to help you out with any of your local 25-mile radius of Cinderella's Castle real estate market questions. And yep, happy to continue to deliver this content for you. You can tune into the Friday show at 1:30 always as well, or catch us here again at 7. So please subscribe, and that would help us grow. We're just meeting the milestones with this channel so quick. And also comment if you want us to cover anything, because we really do take your suggestions to heart. We check out everything that you're saying, and don't think that we won't make an entire video series just because you told us to. So
Yes.
that's awesome. Well, appreciate you tuning in. You can catch us next time.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's Castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.